The Yankees just completed a 2-game sweep of the Tampa Bay Rays, and there are multiple storylines that could come out of this series. Game 1, the Yankees made history as the first team in MLB history to have 2 games in a single season of 9 home runs. They're only the 3rd team all time to reach that feat. That would be a story in and of itself. But nothing is more impressive than what we saw on Wednesday night. Cam Schlittler might just be the real deal. What's going on, guys? King of Under 61st, Jim, back to another video. And if for some reason you missed the game, you missed a masterpiece. Cam Schlittler going into the 7th inning with a perfect game. Yes, some of this was aided by the fact that the Tampa Bay Rays offense did not know what a take sign was. Cam Schlittler had 70 pitches going into that 7th inning. It was incredible to see his work rate and how he was able to just carve up these hitters. One of the most impressive at-bats I've seen from him since he's come up was the at-bat against Junior Caminero. Just pounded him with fastballs, gave him one to get 2 strikes, and then right off of it, tunneled it to perfection. That cutter ends up down and away for strike 3. This was Cam Schlittler's breakout performance. This was his moment to tell the world, I am legit. The 7th round pick out of Northeastern, he's here to stay. Through 7 starts, he has a 1-2 record, so not great in terms of team success, but a 3.22 ERA with 36 1/3 innings and only a 1.32 whip. His last 3 games have been pretty fucking spectacular. Against Houston, 5 innings, 2-run ball, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts. He did give up 7 hits in this game, so not perfect. But then against Minnesota, 5 innings, 2 hits, 1 earned, 2 walks, 6 Ks. So much better in that game. And then, of course, what he just put on, 6 2/3, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 8 strikeouts, a career high for Cam Schlittler. Cam has shown that the talent is there. There's a reason why he was a top prospect in the Yankee system. There's a reason why the Yankees were so keen on keeping him in any trade. This is the type of guy who could make a difference in a rotation. They put a lot of faith in him, like it or not, when they made the decision to go release Marcus Stroman, give him the rest of the money he's owed guaranteed, instead of saving service time and sending Schlittler down. The Yankees saw what we're seeing right now. Now, the real question is, what impact will Cam Schlittler really have in October? I've seen this being debated a little bit, and I'm seeing a lot of people say that Cam Schlittler is the automatic number 3. And I'm not going to doubt that, because look at the other 2 options. You have Luis Gil, who's pitching tonight against Boston. He right now has had a few starts, all of them having their own weird feel about them. Only one really bad start, but the other starts just had something about them where you saw that Luis Gil may not be fully back. His last start against St. Louis, to me it was efficient, but every single inning it seems like he had traffic on base to where he had to get the double play. And in this game, he was fortunate enough to get those double plays. But again, that's also against St. Louis, a team that doesn't hit. Then you got Will Warren, a lot like Cam Schlittler, has that potential, has that it factor to where you could see there's a lot in there. In terms of putting it all together, he has not done that consistently, at least not as consistently as Cam Schlittler has over his past 3 starts and even over his past 7. His first few starts, it was a little bit of a struggle. There's a reason why he has a 1.32 whip. That's a little high. But over those last 3, the Houston start, there's a lot of base runners there, 7 hits, probably not going to cut it against a really potent offense. 4 base runners against Minnesota and only 3 against Tampa. These are elite performances from a guy who is pretty young, only 24 years old. So if you look at the other options, because right now you have to think Max Fried, no matter how bad he's performed to this point, he's the guy on the $218 million contract. He's our ace going into this without Garrett Cole. Number 2 is Carlos Rodon. Again, is getting paid almost like an ace. I think Carlos Rodon might be the best pitcher in this rotation right now because of Max Fried's struggle. But those are 1 and 2. Those should be locks. Where does the rest fall? And for me, I'm still trusting Luis Gil in a playoff series. Because something people seem to forget in this conversation is Luis Gil last year had playoff experience. He was able to pitch in a World Series. He had the only win of a Yankee starter in the World Series for us. That right there, as long as Luis Gil can sort of right the ship coming down the stretch, bring that ERA down from 5, which is inflated because of how little he has played to this point. If that can come down to about a 3, maybe even a 3.5, I am trusting Luis Gil in game 3. But I am definitely giving Cam Schlittler some high leverage spots. And this could also be matchup dependent. There could be a team that takes advantage of walking a lot more than other teams, a lot more patient. And in that spot, I may even go to Cam Schlittler there in game 3. To me, him and Luis Gil are probably interchangeable, but in terms of experience and in terms of trust factor, I can't trust Cam Schlittler in a game 3 more than the guy who has the experience of being there, more than a guy who has experience at winning at that level. But what do you guys think? Do you think Cam Schlittler has earned his spot to being the number 3 starter on this playoff roster? Do you think he still needs to work on some things? Let me know down below. Like the video if you enjoyed. Subscribe if you're new. I'm out of here. Take care and peace.